Hey guys, this is the Stupendous Wave, and I am here to analyze Sauron. So, Sauron, I gave him an intelligence of 80%, a strength of 80%, a speed of 30%, a power of 90%, and a combat of 80%, and a durability of 116%. Now, let's just go ahead and start off with intelligence, 80%. So Sauron is an extremely intelligent individual. In fact, for those of you that don't know, Sauron is basically a minor god in the Tolkien universe. He's not one of the upper level guys, but he is a Maya. So he is a upper level god, not an upper level god, but he's a minor god, similar to Gandalf and Saruman. So this guy is extremely smart. In fact, he was great with making things and building things. He was able to trick the elves into making the One Ring. He is a master manipulator, being able to will them to make the ring and to make himself appear very beautiful and make the elves want to do things for him. So he is a very intelligent being. So for strength, I gave him 80%, as we saw in the prologue in the Fellowship of the Ring. One swing of his mace knocked at least 5 men back, but those are just men. He also fought in the War of Morgoth as Morgoth's main lieutenant, his right-hand man, and this guy is extremely strong. Physically, mentally, he has great powers, and he's just overall extremely strong with his physical, in regards to his physical prowess. So speed, I gave him 30%. He is not a fast being, although when he is in his necromancer form, he can be very fast, he can move very quickly, but if he is in full physical form, he does move pretty slow. So for power, I gave him a 90%. He is an extremely powerful being. We saw he was able to pin Gandalf up against a wall, disintegrate his staff, just extremely powerful, and that was in a weakened form. So he's going to give Thanos a lot of troubles with that. So in combat, I gave him 80%. This is someone who's been fighting for hundreds and hundreds of years. He's mastered his craft, although he does have some holes in it, like of course him being quite slow, but as far as his combat, I'm giving him an 80. For durability, I'm giving him 116%. Not only is he extremely durable in his physical form, but with the ring he becomes even more so, and all of these abilities that I've listed will be amplified if he is wearing the ring. And if he's in his necromancer form, how can Thanos even touch him? Because he's not a physical being, and that's what's really tough about this battle, is if Sauron is in his necromancer form, and if he's in the form where he's not a physical being anymore, how is Thanos expected to grab him and attack him, basically? So that's something that gives Sauron a big edge. He also has matter manipulation. He can manipulate the very area and the very ground around him. This is an extremely powerful being. With the ring, he is in fact the most powerful being on Middle-earth, even surpassing Tom Bombadil when he is in the possession of the ring. So just extremely powerful being. He is of course a minor god, like I stated before, and if he were to fight Sauron, he would not be fighting him alone. I mean Thanos. Sauron would not be fighting him alone. He is a master manipulator. Dark things are just drawn to him naturally, which means that Thanos would not only have to worry about Sauron himself, but he would have to worry about thousands, even hundreds of thousands of orcs and hundreds of trolls, cave trolls, ready to smash him, all armored to the teeth. And of course, we can't forget about the Nazgul and the Witch King himself. The Witch King was able to break Gandalf's staff and shatter it into a million pieces, and no man can kill the Witch King. Now Thanos is not a man, he is a male, but he's not a man. but still the Witch King is extremely, extremely powerful, and that is Sauron's right-hand man. So could Thanos be able to defeat not only Sauron, but his whole legion of enemies, including maybe even Saruman and his Uruk-hai, Azog, Bolg, all of Sauron's followers just converging onto Thanos? Now, in a one-on-one match between Thanos and Sauron, I totally give Thanos the win. But considering that Sauron has all these forces that he solely commands, it's a very, very close match. And in my opinion, if Sauron has all of these things and Thanos does not have the Infinity Gauntlet, Sauron is going to win. He's going to be able to manipulate Thanos because, of course, he is the Master Deceiver. He's going to dangle Thanos' need to please death in front of him, and really Sauron being death himself in the Tolkien universe, if you think about it, Thanos will be... How do you destroy death? That's just the thing. I mean, he was cast out, Sauron was cast out, so he goes to Middle-earth, and then he tries to take over, and they cut the ring off of his hand, and he's still alive after that. And you cannot destroy Sauron. That's something that a lot of people forget. In the end of Lord of the Rings, they do not kill Sauron. Sauron is still around. He can never influence people on a large scale again. He can never bring people to follow him and create an army again. But he is not dead. He is very much alive, just in a much lesser power level. So that's just my thoughts. I think that Sauron would dangle Thanos' need to please death in front of him, set up the perfect trap for him, and then Thanos would just be surrounded, and not only would he have to worry about Sauron, but he'd have to worry about Saruman, the 9 Nazgul, including the Witch King, all the orcs, all the Uruk-hai, all the Gundabad orcs, Azog, Bolg, all of Sauron's followers, all of Sauron's forces against just one Thanos. I think that it's still going to be an extremely, extremely close match, but you guys are going to have to decide who you think will win. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on Sauron, and I send it back to Mike G.
Okay, guys, so let me give my thoughts. Now, these two are very close. It's a very, very, very close match. When I think it comes to Sauron, Sauron does have very much power, and he has many advantages. I think most of his army and his minion dudes are a big advantage. I mean, that's going to be hard for Thanos. Those are very powerful beings. I believe there are 6 of them. Now, very powerful beings. But I think Thanos will get the upper hand on that because, you know, if you think about it, I mean, Thanos has controlled minds of Galactus. He's gotten to the mind of Galactus. A very, very, very powerful being. And then you think of the Silver Surfer. Another extremely powerful being. And a being that is made of energy, is made to take energy. Now, when you take a character like Thanos and know that he is able to control that energy that the Surfer had, yeah, that's pretty crazy. And that's a lot of energy. And that energy, guys, by the way, is used to destroy planets. So the fact that Thanos can stop Silver Surfer in his place, can stop him, that is powerful. Another thing I have to say, too, is that the Hulk. Now, I'm talking about the Hulk's mind. The Hulk's mind is so raged that it really can't be controlled. Now, knowing that Thanos was able to get in the Hulk's mind, you're talking such a strong mind of manipulation. And I personally think Thanos is just stronger than Sauron's. Now, Sauron has mastered manipulation and so has Thanos, so that is a hard decision there. Now, here's the big one. Now, when people think magic, they don't think actually of energy in the universe, in which energy in the universe is what Sauron is using, and you don't even know it. So magic is a form of energy, a cosmic energy, and this is something that Thanos can use against Sauron. Even if he is wearing the ring, I think Thanos can use some of that energy, and he can use it to counter, even against the army. And I think Thanos is powerful enough to get through some of the army And yes, it will be a distraction for Sauron to get to him, and also with those very powerful minions by his side. But you have to remember that Thanos' strongest weapon in the Marvel Universe, if not the strongest, is the mind. And also the physical attributes of Thanos with his gauntlet or his cube. That adds up to the play of his powers too, just like how Sauron has the ring. So they're actually very much alike, you know, they have these advantages. The only difference is that Sauron is able to use an army, while I don't believe Thanos does. But I think Thanos comes very close to Sauron, and Sauron comes close to Thanos. I really can't decide on this one. It's such a close match, and this is why me and Stupendous wanted you guys to decide, because it would be hard for two of us to really just talk about it and really say, okay, this is the winner. So we're going to say that you guys are going to decide, and then Stupendous will announce it, or I will. It's okay, I will too. But that's my thoughts. And, you know, very good battle. I really liked this. We really had to think about it for a while. And by the way, getting his recording was difficult. But thank you, Stupendous Way, for joining us in Dream Battles. I hope you enjoyed watching this. By the way, I had to speed up footage. If you notice right now, the footage is being sped up because I cannot upload longer videos. But my good old friend that is subscribed to the channel, he's going to help me out be able to upload longer videos on the iPad. That is all for this one. Mike G off your screen. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. And I promise next time we will get to Apocalypse and Doomsday. This one just came in. I just said, hey, you know, we ought to do this together. And he said, oh, cool. So that's what we did. See you guys.